Hey everyone, this is Bob from the 5 Acre Woods. For those of you who do not know what we do here, who we are, my wife and I, and a couple people that still live with us here at home, live on 5 acres in South Jersey. We raise a few animals, we do projects on our property, and that's what we're all about. And just a heads up, if you like what you see, subscribe. It's always free. Give us a thumbs up. And the best thing to do is to share our videos with your friends. Switching hands here while I'm driving. Just wanted to cover what this past year was. We had our ups and downs. We had some of our animals passed away. We said goodbye to our family dog, Joey. He had been with us for, I think, about 15 years, maybe a little less than that. He had a lot of things wrong with him. You may have seen him in one or two of our videos. And that's a sad thing, but he was not in good physical health, and so it was best to put him down and let him go. But we're going to miss him, and we have no plans of getting another dog yet, but if we do, we'll make sure we'll make a video about it. I don't think that I said a couple hours, but I'm not sure if we had lost one of our chickens this year or was it last year, but whatever it is, we're down to 9 chickens. We had one, I think it was last year, now that I come to think about it. I don't think it was this year. We are planning on changing up our flock, if you want to say that. We're going to be investing in some different kinds of chickens. That's going to be a different video. I'm going to save all that stuff for when we do that. We're ready to order these chickens this week, and we're going to split the order with our neighbor. One of our neighbors wants to get the same kind, and anyway, that'll be a future video at one point. What else? We're going to be expanding our garden, and we're going to try to grow more of our own food. The way things are going these days, food is becoming expensive. It's becoming scarce. I noticed in the store at different times that, sorry, I'm switching hands again, that we are experiencing some shortages, and believe it or not, where we buy cucumbers, sometimes they're out of them for about 2 or 3 days, and these are just simple cucumbers. But I think the point is, don't take your food for granted. If you can grow as much as you possibly can. Grow things that you like. Don't grow things that are too exotic. Just to keep it simple. What else are we planning? We're planning on doing some repairs. We're planning on building a couple of different structures. We're planning on possibly purchasing a larger animal. My wife and I keep talking about this, and she wouldn't know that I'd be mentioning this in the video, but we're planning on purchasing some larger animals, maybe 1 or 2 larger animals this year, just so that we have food of our own. We purchased a large freezer. It's been 2 years now, with the thoughts that we would fill it, and we do. We buy food from the store, and it does fill in, but we have not filled it yet. It's a very large upright freezer. What else? I think I mentioned maybe we're going to do some repairs. Our chicken coop needs some TLC. The upper floor, we have what I should say is we have an A-frame shaped chicken coop where the chickens go up at night, up a ramp into the upper chamber of this coop that I built when we first moved in about 12 years ago. And the outside of it has seen some wear, and I'm just gonna completely redo it, make it look a lot better, and make it more protective for them. And what else? We're also going to be making a shelter for our feed. It is just, we kind of get our bags of feed and put it inside of our greenhouse, and it just isn't practical to be in there. I have a barrel outside of our chicken coop that I keep their food in, but I don't have the room to purchase any more than 1 or 2 bags at a time, which is what I'm doing right now. I'm going to pick up some feed for our rabbits and our chickens. Regarding our rabbits, we're going to be we raise them for food. We have shared them as part of a bartering with our neighbor, the same one we're going to do the chickens with, to make sure that we keep those lines of communication with our neighbors so that we can, they give us certain things, we give them 1 or 2 rabbits. I'm going to show you how we, in an upcoming video, I'm going to show you, and it will be this next week because the rabbits we have are ready to go. We won't be breeding our rabbits again for another, I think, another 3 months. I may be a little off of that, but I think it's about 3 more months. We don't want to raise rabbits in the winter's cold. We've never done that, and I don't know if it's the best thing in the world to do. But we have some rabbit meat that we have in the freezer right now, and that is going to be added to. We have used some of it, and I have to tell you, it's pretty good. We never had rabbit before, and it's they say it tastes like chicken. It does, but you can tell it's a different kind of meat. It's very tender, and very versatile. You can make a lot of things with it that you normally would make with chicken. And we always tell people we never trick anybody, and because they see us raising rabbits for food, and especially our kids who are grown now, and they'll say, you better not give us any casserole with rabbit meat and tell us it's chicken. And well, we never do that. Although it'd be really funny if we did. I have to say. But anyway, we're not going to do that. So anyway, I'm just trying to think of other things that we're doing. Once these rabbits are culled this next time, I got to do a thorough cleaning of their grow-out cage, which worked out very well. When you have rabbits to grow out, it is really nice because the way the cage is built, you can move it around. It has wheels on one end and handles on the other, and you can put it almost anywhere in the yard. And wherever they eat and wherever they drop their pellets is great for your yard. It doesn't look great right away. It's a little flat, and the rabbits eat all the grass, but it grows back fast. And you want to move. The trick is that don't put it too close together like I did, and it kind of looks flat all in one spot. You can tell where the cage has been. And you move it a couple times a day. At least I do. I move it twice a day, and it doesn't get a chance to wear into the yard too much. So you gotta, our yard grows really fast in the summertime. I have to cut the grass sometimes twice a week. It grows so well, even without the rabbit manure. We're also going to be selling our rabbit manure. We're going to gather that, and you'll see a link to our eBay page. I was going to sell it on Etsy, but I think we're getting off of Etsy. Their fees are just too high. They take 20% of your sales, and and it's just too much. eBay, I think, because we're top-rated sellers on eBay, we can get away with. I want to say only like 12%, something like that. Maybe it's less than that. My wife knows all those details, but it's a lot better, and you get a much bigger audience. You know, you get a much bigger, well, you get the world. You know, I don't know about Etsy. I don't know how big Etsy is. I know they're based in California. I don't think that they're worldwide, but I may be wrong about that. But at any rate, eBay is the king of online sales. I mean, there used to be auction. You can still do an auction on eBay, but it's not that popular as it once was. So anyway, that's another aspect of rabbits. Come the spring, we're going to be putting in a new pool liner. It has been a long time coming, that's all I can say, and it is going to be a challenge because it's not the first time I've put a new liner in this pool. It's an oval shaped liner, and it doesn't matter what liner I seem to get, it always seems like it's like short sheeted. It's like 33 feet long and 18 wide, and it always seems like every time I put it in the pool and put it in place, it just seems like it's not as long as they said it was. So if I can order a larger one, I will, although I think this is the largest above ground pool liner that you can buy. I'm not 100% sure about that. So that's another thing. And then one other thing we wanted to do, and I'm not sure we're going to get to all these things because this is an awful lot to do. But these are all in the works for this coming year. We're going to replace the deck to our above ground pool, and the deck is about 25 feet long and about 15 feet wide. And we wanted to replace it with that decking, and I don't recall the name of it. It's a recycled plastic decking, and it is very expensive. But my son just redid his deck with it, and it is really, really good. And even though his deck is a little bit on the dark side, even though sunlight was shining right on it, the deck stayed cool. I don't know what they do to the material. It just doesn't get hot. I have a wood deck, and I gotta tell you, it on a hot summer day, it's always, you know, it's too hot. You gotta take buckets of water from the pool and throw it onto the deck so you can just plain walk across it if you don't put shoes on to do it. So that's another thing we want to do. That's a big thing. Also, I'm stepping up my woodworking with a lot of different tools. I've obtained a lathe that I've had for 2 years now, and I'm very thankful to my neighbor as a barter. I forget what we gave him, but he kind of outgave me and gave me this brand new lathe, never used, that he got for free too. Someone wanted to get rid of it, and he thought of me because he doesn't like to do woodworking so much, and so he gave it to me, but it didn't come with a belt to operate it. So I just ordered a belt for it, and that'll be coming in a few days. So that's going to be another aspect. And 2 years ago, I bought from a friend of mine a bandsaw. It's not brand new. It works well, except that the motor is worn out in it, and it's an external motor. It's kind of like one of those motors that you can replace easily. I have a motor, and it's just a matter of switching it out. The problem is my shop is small, and if you've seen my other videos, you can see how small my shop is. So it'll just take us time to work all these things in, and I haven't put these in order, except that the pool would come sometime in the spring. I'm going to be looking for a pool liner see if I can get a good bargain on one, because they're not getting any cheaper, and they are not being made as well as they used to. You can't get the really good wells. I mean, if you get a good pool liner, it's almost like excuse me, you buy a pool liner, and if your pool is 33 feet long, it's already adjusted. They may give you 33 and a half feet. Whereas you order one from a cheap, it's a cheap manufacturer, they may measure out 33 feet, but it's like right there on the money. And no pool is exactly, well, I don't know, because I don't install pools, but at least mine is not exactly what you would call right on the money. In fact, you'd want a little bit extra so you can have a little to play with, because there is a certain amount of shrinkage that happens to these liners after they're manufactured. I think that's what the case is. But anyway, so that's going to be later on in the year. The addition of these animals that we're talking about, we're going to order them now, but I don't think they're going to come until like late February, early March, somewhere around that. So all these things are in the works, along with our other channel, Old Things New. We have, which is our eBay channel. We usually around the fourth quarter we start concentrating on that and doing some videos on that. So we're going to, you'll see it in the description. I'll put a link. Also, what I should do is I'll just put a link to our link tree, and our link tree has all of our information on all the platforms we sell on, and so it'd be a lot easier to go right from there to each one. For right now, Etsy is still in place, but I may get rid of it altogether. We have had sales on it, but it just their fees and their advertisements they throw in there just take its toll. For example, I sold an item for, I believe it was $125. It was a vintage Christmas decoration that moved. It was a Mr. and Mrs. Santa that danced, all around, and it really worked well. And the person paid full price for it. And by the time all the smoke cleared with the fees and advertising and shipping, I ended up with $55. Not a lot of money. Whereas on eBay, I probably, out of $125, I probably would have been able to keep 115 of it. I probably would have had to put out like $10, maybe $12 between fees and stuff like that. But that's the way it goes. You live and learn. Some people like Etsy because it's all handmade stuff and vintage stuff that you can sell there. You can offer a lot of stuff there. I mean, it's fine, but we're looking into other types of auctions and stuff like that, and other types of selling, so that we can, move our things. We have an awful lot of inventory on our Old Things New channel, and we just have an awful lot to move there. And as far as the 5 Acre Woods, that has its own challenges too. So what we want to do is just keep you informed, keep you updated, and we wish you and everyone a Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, great success in the coming new year. We give, in our house, we give praise and honor to the Lord Jesus Christ, because from Him all things are given, and that's what we believe. And we pray for others to be as successful as possible. Keep working. Don't worry about what's going on in the world so much. Do what you have to do, and mind your own business as far as your work. And so this is Bob from the 5 Acre Woods, and wish you well. See you on the next video.